Okay, let's go to the kidney diseases. There you have desire can be disturbed rather much because in a lot of kidney patients the testosterone goes down and the prolactin goes up, which are both reasons to have very low desire, and people are very tired, and being tired when they don't have energy, it's another reason to have very low desire. In the excitement phase, a lot of people with kidney problems have hypertension. Hypertension in itself is a reason to change circulation, to give already erectile problems, and the antihypertensives, they can do the same. It's gradually, it's getting a little bit better because 15 years ago the antihypertensives, they were very damaging to erection. It's now a little bit less. We know within the group which is better and which is worse. The beta blockers, of course, were very bad. Here you have to realize very well that in women, if the man has no erection, it is very negative for him, for his male identity. If the woman doesn't get lubrication, that is not such a big deal. That is much more easy. She uses a little bit saliva, a little bit, we just continue. A little bit saliva, a little bit lubricant, and she just can continue even with a little bit pain. Now the third is in the orgasm phase, you have quite some people have neuropathy, which can give also problems in orgasm because they are feeling too much or not feeling sufficient, by which they don't get proper orgasm. Now the next is what happens over the phase when you are healthy and then you get uremia and then you get into dialysis and then you get maybe a transplant. This is from Dutch research, and I've forgotten to put the numbers in the healthy population. In the healthy population they found in the man, they found 9% sexual disturbances, and in the female healthy population they found 14%. But then you see how high it goes up, and if it's even higher when they have uremia, but up till now nobody has checked that systematically, but that's probably even much higher. And then you see that it goes down when people get a kidney, properly functioning kidney transplant, but then still they have medication which is not good for your sexual functioning. They have the immunosuppressants which can give irritation in the vagina and under the foreskin. They have their fears for the transplant rejection. They have sometimes they get the graft versus host problems with problems in the vagina, that the vagina gets too narrow and cannot be opened without pain, or under the skin of the skin of the penis can become very problematic as well in the graft versus host disease. And what some patients, they complain as well that the place where the new kidney is, that they are very scared that it is touched during sex. Now, why should you pay attention to the patients when they have a chronic disease or a kidney disease? Sexuality is more than only sexual function. It's also sexual identity and sexual relationship. And for instance, in a man who doesn't get an erection, it damages his sexual identity. And then it's not only function, it's also that he doesn't want to continue playing with his partner. About 40% of the men who don't function properly are scared to enter into sexual contact with the partner. That means that two people are in the cold. Not only no erection, but also no cuddling, no orgasm, etc. Both are lacking a lot. It's for many people very relevant, but we have to be careful, that's not for everybody. And that's difficult because we, as professionals, we have to take another position than what you do as a citizen. As a citizen, you can believe what I have, that's for everybody. If I have much sex, everybody will have much sex. If I am not so interested, my patients will not be so interested. But as a professional, you have to think different, because we have to know, to realize that some of our patients, they are very sexual, and some of our patients are like us, and some of our patients, they are not interested in sex. Yeah, that's right. It's 8 weeks ago. We should do it again. That's for some of them. And others, they cannot sleep because they didn't get an orgasm, which is not uncommon for part of the people. When you get orgasm, when you fall asleep always after having an orgasm, and then you get an accident, you get into the hospital or in a rehab center, and then with 3 other people in the room and nurses walking in and out, you can't do it by yourself, so you can't get an orgasm and you can't sleep. That is reality. It's not abnormal to do it every day or to do it twice a day. It's not abnormal to do it once in 8 weeks. But we have to realize that our patients, you can't see on the face of the patient, is he a frequent lover or a lousy lover, a frequent sexer or a slow sexer? You simply don't see. Sometimes we even make the mistake that somebody who looks very beautiful, that we think, oh, sexual is very good. But the very beautiful people, they never needed to worry. They always have people who do everything to them. They are lousy lovers. So don't worry if you're not very beautiful. Okay. No. The other thing is, it's our responsibility, because we do so much damage to the patients. And that's in kidney diseases, because we do the dialysis. And we take care that they get a bad hormonal situation. So it's our responsibility. And in cancer, it's even worse, because in cancer, you get a lot of damage by the treatment. All patients want that we start a discussion. It's if you look in cancer, in chronic diseases, in physical rehabilitation, in psychiatry diseases, it's always that the patients want the professionals to start, even if they have a serious sexual problem. We have to realize that. So it's our responsibility to enter this discussion. And the next is, of course, why do people have sex? People have sex for many different reasons. Just out of love, out of fun, out of recharging the batteries, what you see, for instance, very clearly in people with a chronic disease. But I see, because that was one of my, let's say, scientific hobbies, to look into the palliative stage of patients, in the last stage. And in the last stage, you have patients who have no sex at all, and other people who have even more frequent sex than they had in the last 15 years. Sometimes as a way to say farewell, or as a way to feel human, to feel female, to feel male. That is one of the many arguments to get into sexuality, which can be for the both of us or only for me, because the same happens as well. People who have no partner, many of them, they want sexuality to function as good as possible, and also they want attention for sexuality, even if they have no partner. So don't make the mistake, he or she is alone, so doesn't need attention. Here you see some of the functions. That's what we call the health benefits, the psychological or the physical health benefits. In psychological, it can be good for mourning. It can be a good way to express the love for your partner, or to get love from your partner, to regain intimacy sometimes in the battle between the sexes. Recharge your batteries, improve your male or female identity. And then you have the very physical consequences. If you have sex, your muscular tension goes down. We know that very clearly in people with muscular diseases like spinal cord injury and MS, then the muscular tension goes down and they have much less spasms. But that's for all of us. So you sleep better after a good orgasm or after good excitement. It increases the pain threshold. For everybody, if you have pain, you are distracted by something which is nice. Can be a romantic movie or a sports game on the television, but it can be also sex, if it's good sex. But in women, if you stimulate the anterior side of the vagina, let's say where the G-spot is supposed to be, if you stimulate there, your pain threshold goes up with 100%. And that can be very important for all those patients who regularly have pain. It gives an increase in oxytocin, and oxytocin is the hormone of trust. You have more trusting each other, and you sleep well better after the oxytocin, and you get more connection between men and women. Men, for instance, regularly start talking after orgasm. That's a side effect of the oxytocin. Some others, they fall asleep after orgasm. Is also a side effect. Good. Any question on kidney diseases? Then we jump to the cancer.